What's going on, Jerome's? Minnesota Vikings team and players and coaches, they never get the time of day from the national media to burn a haircut. So when they do, it's like squeezing blood from a stone. And when they actually get some recognition, you know that they're 10 times better than the media says that they are, because they actually have to give them a little bit of credit. Now, Jefferson is fantastic at this. That means how good is Justin friggin' Jefferson? The best. The friggin' best, right? Bill Barnwell, the poobah of the pigskin over at ESPN, did up his NFL All-Pro teams 2024, 50 best players, picks at every position. Also, he tweeted out a third team, which, of course, there's Vikings on there, because why give us any respect or dignity? And we've explained this a bunch. First off, you could say, like, oh, who cares? They don't like us. We don't care. But the national media, like Joe 12-pack out there in middle America still gets his takes and views from ESPN, the worldwide bleeder of sports. So, I mean, if the Vikings are constantly getting disrespected, everyone's thinking, oh, I mean, the Vikings are bad. Now, you could say, again, who cares? But also, it's a self-esteem issue. Like, just call a spade and give the Vikings plaudits. And also, this has ramifications on legacy, because the thumb is always down on the scale. Think about Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith, just because he played for the Vikings, probably got effed out of multiple All-Pro teams. He definitely got screwed out of the 2010s All-Decade team, and that probably is going to cost him the Hall of Fame. And that's absolute BS. So, no, this is not all, hey, who cares what the media says? This actually does matter for the players at the end of the day. Also, if and when the Vikings win the Super Bowl by a point, it'd be like, lowest margin of victory, point differential ever. Losers. Please. It's okay. I'll take that one all the way to the bank. Pun intended. Anyways, Barnwell's All-Pro team. So, of course, Justin Jefferson making the All-Pro team. So, it's Ja'Marr Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown as the 3 first-team receivers, which Amon-Ra, I love that he I want Jefferson to go up against linebackers and safeties all the time. That'd be good. But Jefferson, though Chase's weakness might be the occasional drop, it's a genuine shock when Jefferson doesn't bring in any pass vaguely thrown in his direction. It's so weird when Jefferson dropped that one in the red zone a couple weeks ago. Just like, oh, it's like seeing a solar eclipse. There's no disrespect meant to Sam Darnold here, but Jefferson's catch radius and ability to bring in passes thrown into the tiniest windows make him an incredibly safe haven for any quarterback. His 2.8 yards per route run leads all receivers who ran at least 400 routes this season. I don't know. I'm told that that's good. I need to start making up analytics. Hey, Jefferson has a 16.2 snorkel, leading the league. Does it mean anything? I don't know, but it sounds smart. And with all due respect to Jordan Addison and other receivers in Minnesota, Coach Kevin McConnell's offense works as a product of the gravity and eyeballs teams have on Jefferson at all times. So many route combinations and progressions are built around how teams cover him and what that means for the quarterback and the other 4 receivers on the field. No receiver beats defenses in more ways than Jefferson, who is a prototype for what great wideouts will look like and how they'll be used in the decade to come. Now, respect to Ja'Marr Chase, because you can never talk about Justin Jefferson without Ja'Marr Chase. Blah, blah, blah. But T. Higgins is a bad dude, man. T. Higgins is a wide receiver 1 in his own right. And, hey, will coverage change once Higgins is gone? Probably. Right, but Chase against consistent double, triple, quadruple teams, we'll see what he does. And Jefferson faces that every single day, every single way. Jefferson, this season, 100 catches on 145 targets, 1,479 as well as 10. So likely going to go over 1,500. If he has himself a nice game, goes over 1,600, he'll be the first player in NFL history with 3 1,600-plus yard receiving seasons. Jefferson is in year 5, and he missed a chunk of year 4. All right, so Jefferson, it's just, you run out of ways to describe how good Justin friggin' Jefferson is. Also, since him and Darnold have been dialed in since that Jacksonville game, woo, love to see that, man. To the second team, Jonathan Greenard makes the second team. Myles Garrett as well as Trey Hendrickson were first-team edge rushers. Also, he makes the second team with Daniel Hunter. So that de facto trade, Yankee swap, kind of worked out for all parties involved. And Greenard, 11 sacks this season, second on the team, 8th in the NFL, 54 tackles as well as 4 forced fumbles. So he just really is good at getting his mitts on that rock. Plus, when he makes the plays are huge. Right, he was vomiting on the sidelines and then sacks Caleb Williams in overtime and making big plays all over the place. Like, he is a big-time player. So sacks are interesting because you'll see this. So if a team is blowing another team out, whoa, and the winning team still has their starting edge rushers in, it's because they want sacks. They want to pad their stats. Ain't that with Jonathan Greenard, man? Just ain't. As well as 77 pressures, is second in the NFL, only behind Myles Garrett. Perhaps you heard of him. So Greenard is getting that consistent pressure. He's getting home. You love to see that. Third team. So you got Blake Cashman outside. How about that? As well as Byron Murphy Jr. And the quarterbacks for his first three teams were Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. So Sam Darnold should have been in there at like the fourth team, but it's really hard to argue with what Joe Burrow's been doing. It is what it is. And with Cashman and Murphy, Cashman has been just a breath of fresh air in that middle. Frankly, even though AVG and Greenard and Darnold and Aaron Jones get all the love, I think Cashman might be the most important player on the Vikings defense and the best free agent this offseason in terms of value. 104 tackles. He leads the team. He missed 3 games. He still leads the team. All right. And also, if the Vikings had Cashman for the Lions and Rams game, they win both those. So he is going to be the X factor on Sunday against the Lions since he is back. 4.5 sacks, which is fourth on the team. He's not even really a blitzing linebacker, but Flores uses him in that A gap, playing games up front with pace and Metellus when pace is out. And Cashman is very adept at finding his way to the quarterback. So basically, for the price of Danielle Hunter, they got Greenard and Cashman from the Texans, and also you can throw in Shaq Griffin, kind of. I mean, that sort of worked out. It's good to go. Also with Murph, Murph's having a career year in a contract season. This from Pro Football Hall of Fame ambassador. Love his account, by the way. Byron Murphy Jr. Has set a career best this season in picks with 6, passes defended 14, as well as passer rating allowed 74, which is good. So Murph has been a dude this year, man. Absolutely would love to have Murph back next year if the price is right. So we'll see what happens. So what it comes down to, it's Jefferson getting some love from Barnwell as well as Greenard. And then you got Cashman outside. How about that? As well as Byron Murphy Jr. A couple guys who should have made it. AVG, I think that you could have found a spot for him. So the third team edge rushers are TJ Will Anderson. I know it's going to be tough to push one of them out. Hell, maybe you can consider him an off-ball linebacker. Why not? But AVG has 11.5 sacks and 2 pick sixes this season, leading the NFL. His 11.5 sacks lead the team, as well as are tied for 4th in the league. So, he's having a career year in the back with Flores in the Viking scheme. And also you got Brian O'Neill, 18 pressures, which is the 4th fewest allowed amongst right tackles. He's been great in the running game. He's only allowed 2 sacks this season. And, so I don't like. Well, actually, does he differentiate? Yeah. So Buffalo's. Spencer Brown's having a great year too. So respect. And of course, Lane Johnson, consistent, is always going to be the ageless wonder. So it's whatever there at right tackle. But yeah, you could make a very solid case that AVG, Brian O'Neill, and Barnwell didn't list like a special teams specialist, but Trent Sherfield should be first team in that department. So we'll see what happens there. But your thoughts are thoughts. ESPN's Bill Barnwell shows some love for Vikings on his 3 All-Pro teams. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section, subscribe. You know what to do. Skull production value.